Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and now that we have defeated our first boss in Valheim, we will now prepare to face the second one, who is the Elder. But before that, there are many things that we need to prepare, so without further ado, let's check it out. Your main activity in the second chapter adventure will be mining copper and tin deposit inside the Black Forest Biome. Craft your pickaxe and then prepare to go to the Black Forest. Mining is a boring and time-consuming activity in this game. So far, this is the most boring time that I find, but we have to do it in order to have new resource for our arsenal. But before you go mining, you have to gather new resources from a burial chamber near the Black Forest area. There are circling core, amber, ruby and other resources inside the burial chamber. The most important resource that you need is the circling core. You need it to build the smelter and charcoal kiln for your facility. At first you need 10 circling cores to build the steel facilities. So if you're lucky, you will only need to get it from a burial chamber. If not, then you have to check a few burial chambers in the Black Forest. So a tip to fight the skeleton inside the burial chamber: you might want to use your stamina to block the archer skeleton, because annoyingly it will always hit you. You can just evade the melee skeleton by easily moving back when they are doing their attacking animation in front of you. It will be a good thing if there is a door near you. Open the door, let one of the skeletons crossing it, and then close it right away before the other skeleton goes crossing it. That way you can kill them one by one without getting surrounded by them. So assuming that you have built the smelter and charcoal kiln, now you need to find a tin deposit near the riverside around the Black Forest area, and for the copper deposit, it will be scattered around the biome. Tin deposit is just like a small stone boulder with a brighter tone color on it. At first you don't need too much of it, so just gather 2 or 3 spots of tin deposit, and after that use all your inventory space to mine the copper deposit. You can build a temporary house nearby the copper deposit area because your pickaxe will be easily broken, and your stamina will also be depleted as you mine the area. Repair it on the workbench and go to sleep if you are no longer rested. That way you can effectively mine the area in one go. As for the troublemaker around the Black Forest, there will be trolls and the family of the Greydwarve. You can easily spot a troll near the area. A giant purple creature that's sometimes naked and sometimes not, sometimes empty-handed, sometimes holding a giant club. It moves slowly, but it could reach you just by a few steps. Just like defeating a boss, find some tree or a giant stone boulder to keep your distance with it as you're shooting it with your arrow. Black Forest is the home to the Greydwarves. Therefore, you can find a Greydwarve Nest around the biome that looks like a giant evil bonfire with some roots around it. It could summon a few Greydwarves, including the Greydwarve Shaman and the Greydwarve Brute. Be careful with the poison attack from the Shaman. As for the Brute, it is a Greydwarve but with a troll's strength, so treat it like a troll and try not to get hit by it. You can hit the nest using your torch to easily burn it apart together with the Greydwarve that comes out of it. Destroying it will grant you an ancient seed that you need to summon the second boss on his altar. You need 3 of them, so gather it by destroying the nest or by killing the Greydwarve Shaman and Brute. After you safely gather a few tin and copper ores from the Black Forest, now smelt it into the smelter, and once you have it, use the copper to craft a forge, and from the forge, you can combine the tin and copper to make bronze metal. Bronze will be your main resource for the second chapter, and you need it as many as you can gather. At first, use the bronze to craft bronze nails from the forge. You can now craft a cart by using the bronze nails. When you have a cart, then all your worries about the mining part will be forgotten. Just like kind of. Because a cart could easily transport all the resources that you gather as you run across the map. It doesn't have a weight limit, and it has 18 inventory slots. Aside from the coppers and tins, you now can store a few blocks of wood and other resources too. And you can also use the cart while you swim across the river. How convenient it is! Later, after you have a carved boat or a long ship, You can load the cart up into the boat to transport it across the ocean. At first I was contemplating whether to do it or not, because if it was broken in the middle of the ocean, my resource will be wasted and I could die too. But thankfully, even though my boat was tilted severely to the side, it was still able to sail safely across the ocean even in the middle of the storm. It was very fun to try with the carved boat. After you craft the bronze armors and weapons, now you've got to kill the second boss, which is the Elder. For safety reasons, you can build a temporary shelter near the altar area, so when you get killed by the boss, you can easily get back your inventory. You'll be using your bow a lot in this fight, so craft the newest bow from your workbench before facing the Elder. You will have to use the pillar around the altar to keep your distance from it, and also to block its ranged attack. Sometimes it will summon roots nearby your area that can easily attack you, so you have to move to another pillar to survive. It can also storm you if you get too near with it. So the fight is actually pretty simple, just like the actual. So survive, even though sometimes a group of Greydwarves will come to know you too. But with the bronze armors that you have, I'm pretty sure you will be able to survive just fine. After you kill the Elder, you will be granted the Elder trophy and a swamp key. Hang the trophy as usual, and for the swamp key, you will use it on the third biome in this game. Now that you killed the second boss in Valheim, you can upgrade all your equipment and even upgrade your facility and building if you want to before heading to find the third biome, which is the swamp. Another point that I would like to suggest you do is craft the fermenter and the cauldron to be able to make potions and other beneficial foods. You can also build a portal to move around the island easily, even though you cannot teleport when you have ores or processed metal in your inventory. So that's it for now. If you guys have more tips to share about the second biome or other points that you wanted to share, then please leave a comment below. Please subscribe and like my channel too, and I will be back soon about the next content for the third biome in Valheim. So enjoy the game and stay safe everyone.